Hello, I'm Robyn and welcome. I'm sharing here in YouTube and in the Healthy Relationship Sisterhood, and I'm the founder of this group, which is a place for women to come for support around their relationships, to get some training, some free training, and to ask questions. And I'm so glad you're here. So tonight we are looking at the 7 tips to manifesting what you want in your relationships and in your life. So if you are here live with me, let me know where you are chiming in from. And this is a time to take some notes, to sit down, to pay attention, to learn as much as you can. I wanted to teach about this topic, 7 tips to manifesting what you want in your life, because I know everyone wants to have a fulfilling and happy life, and especially in relationships, right? That's my specialty. That's where I love to focus. And when we're not happy in our relationships, we're usually not very happy in life. It's hard to have a happy life when your relationships are rocky, unsettling, dissatisfying, or upsetting. So we're going to look at how to begin to manifest what you most want in your relationships and in your life, and what might be in the way of that tonight. And I got inspired to do this because I was with my mother recently, and it was her 80th birthday a couple days ago. And she's really inspiring to me. I love how she's very passionate about her work in the world. She has been almost my whole life. When I was little, she went back to school to get her master's degree in psychology and counseling. And she really hasn't stopped studying since then. She got her PhD, and then she became a psychoanalyst, and she's always growing and trying new things in her work and reaching for new certificates. She just went through a whole nother training recently and got a new level of certification so she could teach at a different level. And it's, she feeds herself in this way. And so I was just feeling very inspired being around her again, and seeing this power that she has to go for what she wants and to not let her fears stop her. And when I was thinking about that, I realized, gosh, I think I do that myself in my own way quite a bit. But I also know that for me in the past, I did let my fears stop me a lot. I really held myself back because of certain fears. So I wanted to talk about that and share that with you tonight, because I know I'm certainly not alone in that. So we're going to look at tonight what are the main blocks or fears that might be stopping you from creating what you want in your life. And then we'll look at, what to do or how to shift that, and what you need really to be on track with yourself, what's required in order to manifest what you truly want and to live in alignment with yourself so that you can. So let's start with, I've just made a list for myself, so I'm going to glance here at my notes, and these are in not any certain particular order, but we're going to start with what I feel like is a really core issue. It was for me, and I know it is for many of my clients, is not feeling worthy of having what you want. So you may have a vision like, I want to be a healer, or I want to be a teacher, or whatever it might be, or I want to be a mother. And then you feel like, well, gosh, I'm not really good enough. I wouldn't do a good job at that. People wouldn't respect me, or something bad would happen if I did it. So there's this fear of not being good enough, not being worthy enough of having that title or that type of success. So that's one way that we might hold ourselves back. There's something wrong with me, for example, that type of line of thinking. So put a yes in the comments, or a me too in the comment if you know that is something a way that you hold yourself back, with this negative belief that says, I'm not worthy or good enough to have this thing that I think I want. Moving on to another one is a fear of being judged if you do achieve that thing. So, and that's, I want to say, likely fed by the first one of not being worthy, because when we don't feel worthy, when we don't feel good enough or capable enough, we're going to think that that other people are going to judge us in that way as well, that same way that we're already judging ourselves. So there is this fear of other people judging us for what we achieve or for what we have, and also kind of a fear that I'm going to move on to the next one in a way that we're rising above like where we should be. So we may have a certain idea based on our upbringing, like our certain level of income in our family unit or in our community, that says, it's okay to exist at this level, but if you're at that level, then you're not okay, then you're greedy, then you're trash, or whatever it is. We may have judgments about existing at a different level of wealth or success, and so then we might not allow ourselves to achieve that even if we want it, because we judge that. So put another I do that in the comments if that's one way that you hold yourself back. We may also have a fear that that others will be left behind, that we'll be kind of moving ahead of people we really care about and who care for us. And so we'll be like alone out in front or out up above. And not only that we'll be alone, but that others will feel badly because we've kind of moved past their level, so to speak. And so that might be a way that we hold ourselves back because we're afraid of losing people in our wake. And we don't want to feel alone, or we don't want to make them feel bad. So again, if that one resonates, put a yes or say, me too, that resonates. And you can describe which one it is for you. So it's helpful when you comment because you can see that you're not alone, and you can also just kind of claim it for yourself and get to know yourself more and get to know others in the community as well. All of us do these things, so just know that you are certainly not unique in any of these, and in a positive way, because we all have similar struggles, and some of us are going to be more in one camp than the other, but you're going to find a lot of people that resonate with this. So let's move on to another fear of failing. So fear of failing, put a yes if that's you. Fear of failing, that when you get to where you think you want to go, whether it's a certain certification or status or income level or whatever it might be, role that you want to play in the world, that you'll fail, that you won't be good at it, right? So again, it relates to that not feeling good enough, but that not only do you not feel worthy, but you feel like you're going to fail or flunk, and and really disappoint yourself, or maybe disappoint others in the process. So that's another way you might hold back. I'm just pausing to make sure I'm not leaving something out. And so it might even feel safer than not to try for the level of achievement or whatever it is you're going for. It might feel safer not to try to achieve that because the failing would feel worse, right? So you might feel safer to hold back than to go for it, because it feels really scary if you would fail at that. It feels like your world might fall apart, or everybody will reject you, or so. But share, if you'd like to, about that. What is your specific fear of failure? I'd love to know. And let's move on. There's another fear that's very common, which is a fear of feeling overwhelmed. A fear of feeling burdened if you take on like a next level of success or responsibility or wealth or whatever it is, that it will be too much and you won't be able to handle it. So say, me too, can't handle it. And so that's again, just another example of a way that you might hold back from going for these goals, these visions that you really know, like you would feel so good about yourself ultimately if you could get there. And it feels like not only about your ego, but about like your calling, right? So when I say like, what do you want to go for, or what do you want to manifest? I don't mean just, to have another feather in your cap, but because you feel like it's in right alignment with who you are and who you want to be in the world. it feels like it will feel more satisfying. You'll be living like in harmony with your life's passions, with your purpose. And so we all want that, right? Because when we're in that, that's like a sweet spot. We're living in harmony with who we think we are, who we want to be, the gifts that we have to give. It just feels so good. Life feels so full. That's honestly how I feel right now doing this work, is like I love doing it, and I always feel like a yes when I'm in that place like I am right now, giving a little teaching. It's like I'm all lit up, and it's such a gift to have achieved that. And I want that for everybody, to feel like your work is fulfilling you instead of draining you. So everyone should have that, whether you're working for money or working, just for fun, that what you're doing with your time is fulfilling. So let's now look at sort of what the flip side of what's required for you to achieve what you want in the world, or in your relationships, in your work life, whatever it is. So, and again, not in any particular order. I've sort of organized them in my own way, but they're all important as I see it. So what might be required is first tuning into and clarifying what it is you want, and claiming that, being willing to say, yes, I want that. I often work with clients who have a difficult time claiming what they want, and this relates back to some of our early trauma, when we don't feel worthy or allowed to know who we are or know what we want, because we put so much attention on others' needs and desires that we kind of overlook ourselves. So I'm not going to go into that whole, what that type of trauma might be, but I just want to name it right here, that's important for you to be able to claim and actualize what you want. Is you do need to start with a sense of awareness and tuning into what it is and claiming it. Yes, I do want that, and that's okay to want that. So then there's, I think, a level of trust that is necessary. Faith, you could call it, or trust that you can do it, that you can create that thing or get to that level or achieve that certificate or take on that role, whatever it might be. A level of trust in the universe, that the universe will provide. If you think that way, that there's plenty for you and for everyone else who might want it too. And also, I think a level of trust and confidence in yourself. So we were talking about not feeling worthy earlier. And so this is kind of the flip side of that you need to feel worthy of having what you want, and also kind of a certain level of confidence that you can go for it, that you can create it if you put your focus on it, if you reach for it, like I was talking about with my mother, that you have what it takes. So I was talking about claiming it and trusting in the universe and trusting in yourself and in your own confidence. And now we're moving on to, again, that self-esteem, knowing that you're worthy of it. So not only knowing that you can create it or that you have the confidence, but that you are worthy of it, that who you are is allowed to have this thing, to achieve this level, to experience this experience. That who you are is enough and plenty, to claim that for yourself. I think another important factor in manifestation and achieving what we want is having enough support, a support system underneath you. It's so much harder to go it alone, to create it on your own, than it is when you have people holding you up, people who've got your back or are holding your hand and guiding you. And that's a big part of why I keep myself in groups of women who are supporting me. I have a group of women friends, and I have a group of women, professional women who I spend time with, and a guide and a teacher who I'm always doing new trainings and with new teachers, because I feel like it's really important that I feel held and supported in doing what I'm doing in the world. And that's also why I am a teacher and love to hold space for other women. So I create that same kind of support system for the women who walk through my groups. My Rock Your Relationship Immersion program is a big part of that, is all about support and holding you and guiding you with teachings, and also just that special container that only women can hold for each other. So support is essential, whether it's your partner, if you have a partner, your friends, or a group of friends, or a professional network, or a group that you step into that's geared for the certain kind of support that you need for the level that you want to go to. I can't recommend that enough. We should not be alone, and our society teaches us that we should, but we shouldn't. We really are built to be in community, in connection with people all along the way. So I hope you go for that for yourself. I think another thing that we all need in order to keep moving forward is a lot of will, or willpower. We need to be able to pull ourselves up, right? And have that kind of gusto that says, okay, I can do this. It's confidence, but it's also willpower, I think, that keeps you going, like day after day. Like even if you did fail, or even if you messed up on something, it's like, pick myself up again, dust myself off, and go forward again. So I think that's really important. And last, but probably not least, this is just my list for tonight that I created today, is the fortitude, you could say, to advocate for yourself. So when something's in your way, it's easy, like there's an obstacle, somebody says no, or you didn't pass the test, or, it takes more than you thought it was going to take, or someone's putting up some resistance, or you're putting up some resistance. That ability to say, you know what, I deserve this, and I'm going to figure out how to do it, and I'm going to advocate, which means kind of asking for it. It means kind of holding up your hand and saying, hey, I need this, and I need some support, and how can we do this, and who can help me? That's advocating for yourself. And I think that is important, because if you don't have that, which I think advocating, by the way, I do think requires confidence and requires self-esteem. So that's why I put it at the end. But all those things work together, right? To help you like keep stepping forward on the path, even when there are hurdles in your way. So we've covered a lot of territory. That's the chunk of what I wanted to say today. I hope you find this helpful. Please put a comment in or question in if you have one. I love to interact with you and see what you have to say and learn from you and what you're learning from. Everyone's inspired by each other's input, so please don't be shy and share your take. If you have more to add, I'd love to know what you want to add to this list of either what's in the way of creating what you want, or what's required to be able to continue moving forward towards your vision, your goal, your life's purpose, so that you can live in harmony and integrity with yourself and in the world. So thank you everybody for being here. I'm going to pop into the Facebook group and see if there are any comments, if I can. Oh yeah, Kathy's here. Hi. Good to see you. And she's saying definite fear of failing. So thanks for sharing that. And if there are others, I don't know if I can see you, so I apologize if I'm missing you now, but I will come back. And if you're watching the replay, please put hashtag replay and share your comments, and then I'll know for sure to come back and respond to you. So good to be with you again tonight or today, or whenever you're watching. And please share this video if you know if someone could benefit. You can tag them here if they're in this group, or you can invite them if you're in the Healthy Relationships Sisterhood. Please invite your friends here so they can benefit from these free trainings. I will continue to offer them. You can also find me on YouTube under Conscious Thriving Relationships and Robyn Smith, Robyn with a Y. And you can also find me in Instagram under robyn.smith.relationshipcoach. So follow me here, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and join my Facebook group so we can stay in connection. And you can let me know too if there's other things you'd like to talk about, and if you have other questions you'd like me to answer in this group or in one of these other platforms. Much love to you all. Have a beautiful day or evening wherever you are, and look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.